Good morning, welcome. Sunrise flow will express into the day, and I hope you can all enjoy the day. Go wherever you like. So that's a good one. To begin our practice, maybe a block. Rest, we won't need other things for comfort at the end of the practice. And I'll just use that block only for a moment, so my stiff morning body can sit with more ease. We'll remove that in a short while. So I'd ask you to just move a little. Draw shoulder blades together and apart as you're moving. And just settling yourself in. I would like to keep working last day of my week with aparigraha, or the non-gripping, non-grasping aspect of our existence. And for that, it's best not to grasp for any outcome. Whether you just want to be wide awake at the end of this session, or you're aiming for a certain posture, try and let that be and just enjoy how is this practice for you, just for the sake of the practice. So we'll take a deep breath in. Reaching our arms up over the head and bringing the hands together. And as we breathe out down into the heart center, let your thumbs lightly attach to the sternum, shoulders relaxed. You might close your eyes or steady your gaze. And we begin with 3 Ms. So we're taking an out breath to begin, synchronizing, and then inhaling for the first To completed your arms, you can gently blink the eyes open, arriving more within yourself, within your body as you lower the hands down to rest. And I suggest to sit on the floor now, maximum the cushion. And we'll turn the palms of our hands to face upwards, so we don't have a chance to hold on to anything. And as we breathe in, we're lifting the arms, the palms, and open. And when you're breathing out, now we're taking a gentler hold of the knees and rounding into the back. So seated cat and cow. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, rounding into your back. And let's do that again. Inhaling, reaching arms up. And exhaling to round into the back. Let us lift the knees up, maintain that little bit of roundedness here, and then curl all the way down onto the floor. Or we step our feet down onto the ground, open the arms out, and starting to squeeze our knees and feet together and allowing them to then roll from side to side. As you're breathing out, you're rolling the knees, and as you're inhaling, we center them again. Just a little movement. And then we will let our feet and knees come to center, stepping the feet a little bit apart as you inhale to stay. And with the exhalation, sliding your hands behind the head, you can interlace there or just using your fingers. As your next inhale, we're lifting the head and the shoulders off the ground. Feel free to lie down again anytime. And while you're exhaling, take your left elbow over towards your right knee. And as you inhale, step the foot back down, center the upper body, and exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Inhaling, open, exhaling, twist. Inhaling, open, exhaling, twist. We'll repeat 2 more to each side, finding your own pace and really now aiming to bring those 2 together, whether that's happening or not. I would just love you to deepen this bit of core work and spinal warm-up that we're practicing. Once you have completed those, please bring your head back down, open your arms up, lift your feet off the floor as you bring your knees towards the chest. We will keep the knees quite close, and again rock the knees a little bit from side to side, going back into twisting. The knees don't have to go anywhere. It's more so a change in movement across your back. When you completed your current round, pause in the center. Do separate your knees now, but keep your big toes touching. Take your arms through between your legs and push the palms of the hands forward as you're spreading out your fingers. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling from the mouth as you lift your upper body and push your hands forward and through like a reclined crow pose. And when you're inhaling, lie back, exhale. Now while you're pushing your hands forward, drawing your knees up towards the shoulders. Inhaling, you can lie all the way back and breath out. Pull knees in, push hands forward. Inhale, lie back. 2 more, hold the last one. Keep drawing your knees in, push hands forward. And then release the upper body down. Bring your knees together over your chest and just give them a loving hug and a squeeze in. Let the whole body now rock from side to side, not just the legs, stimulating across your whole back. And then roll over onto your left side. And please take as much time as you might need to come up into sitting on your heels, if that is possible. If it is not, the flexion is too deep, please come to stand on the knees instead. And while we take an inhale, then opening the arms out wide, ready to receive the whole world. And when you're breathing out, let your right arm cross underneath your left. You can either hug your shoulders or come into full eagle arms, checking in with your morning body, see how this feels. Don't stress about sitting down on the heels. You're doing this as well, standing up on the knees. So with the next inhale, lift your elbows. Start to open the front of your body. And when you're breathing out, do exactly the opposite. Curl in, elbows and chin to chest. Then inhale, lift again. And exhale, squeeze in. One more, breathing in and exhaling. When you inhale, open your arms out wide again. We will repeat. As you breathe out, your left arm crosses underneath the right. You've got the same options there. Relaxing the shoulders down. We'll go again, 3 rounds. Inhaling, elbows lifting, open your front. Exhaling and curling in. Breathing in to open. Exhaling to curl in. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out for the roundedness. Let's open the arms up one more time, inhaling. And as you're exhaling, bring your hands upon your thighs and then slide the hands gradually forward as we're extending into a child's pose. From this child's pose, we won't stay anywhere for too long. We keep ourselves flowing. On the inhale, come onto all fours. Take time as you set yourself up. Use Hasta Bandha, the hand lock, so away from the wrists and gripping into bases, pats of the fingers, grounding through the shins and tops of the feet. As you next breathe in, let's extend our right leg back and leading here with the heel so the toes are facing downwards. And as you breathe out, deliberately point the foot, draw the knee and the nose in together. On the inhale, extend back. On the exhale, curl it in. Now inhale again to extend back. But as you're exhaling now, draw the same knee up towards your right shoulder. And then see if you can place your foot on the outside edge of the mat. A horse rider position that leads us into a lizard lunge. So if you feel ready for it, lean a little bit forward. Mind that the front knee doesn't come too far over your ankle joint. If you like to let the hips sink down, do so. Otherwise, you can stay a little bit further back. You could even bend your elbows with the next out breath and deepening the shape a little. Now, straighten your arms. Tuck your left toes under. Rock the body a little bit back before you lift your left knee off the floor. Take a breath in just to create length in your spine and back to the left heel. And then when you're breathing out, step the left foot also to the outer edge of the mat. Draw your heels a little bit together. You can stay standing upright for the yogic squat and just rest your elbows over your knees, or you can sink all the way down into this quad. No need necessarily to have the heels on the floor, might be more comfortable. Let's squeeze elbows against insides of the knees, finding a bit of length in the spine. Take a deep breath. And then as you're breathing out, land your hands, turn your heels out, feet parallel, and a standing forward bend. Let's release that back into Malasana as you take a breath in and touch the hands back together in front of the chest. Now it is your choice how you will approach the rest. You could just land your hands down in front onto the front of the mat. You can either step or even jump back into a plank position. There's an opportunity for you to bring your knees down and untuck the toes for a bit more support. And as you're next exhaling, lower down slowly, keeping your elbows in by the sides. Toes are untucked now, forehead resting on the ground, hands by your sides. Re-inhaling, feet are pressing into the floor, upper body lifting, Cobra Bhujangasana. Drawing the shoulder blades closer together and down the back, bearing little weight in the hands. Inhale again, exhale again. And when you next inhale, push yourself back up onto all fours. And on the out breath, reach your buttocks towards the heels, arms extended into child's pose. Noticing all of your choices. And maybe creating a little bit of movement. Notice if you are getting attached or gripping onto a posture that you would like to do. And let that go and just exploring yourselves in this practice. Fingers are spread out. Let's take an inhale. Come back onto all fours. Set yourself up again. So do a little bit of realignment, using the hands wisely so you're not so much using your wrists. And with the next inhalation, extending back with the left heel leading. Foot is again in flexion. That helps us with the alignment of the hips. And then point the foot as you breathe out, draw your knee into the chest. Inhaling, extend back out to the heel. Exhaling and draw the knee in. Next round, we're still extending on the inhale. And when you're breathing out, draw your knee up towards your shoulder. And again, aim with your foot to the outer edge of the mat. And once you're there, come up with the toes tucked under behind you, lifting the knee off the floor, lengthen your spine on the in-breath, stretch back into the right heel. And when you breathe out, step the foot again to the outer edge of the mat. Returning into our yogic squat, either low or high standing. Listen in with your knees, elbows to the insides of the knees, palms pressing together. Big breath in as you lengthen your spine. And on the out breath, hands go back down. This time, lift your heels off the floor. Draw your knees up into your armpits. And those of you who are into Bakasana or the crow pose, start leaning the weight forward. And those of you who aren't, you can try doing that as well. Keep your heels lifted, draw your knees up to the armpits, lean a little bit of weight forward. See if your feet want to come off the ground. And then landing the feet again, take them to about hip distance from here. And as you take your next inhale, slide hands up for a half lift. And when you're breathing out, fold forward again. Let's do that a couple more times. On the inhale, lengthen the spine forward, half lift. On the out breath, folding forward. Last round of this, inhaling as you lengthen. And exhaling to fold. Use your next inhale, pushing down into the ground. Reach your arms forward and up towards the ceiling. Extend your body. And as you're breathing out, let the arms come out towards the sides. Soften them a little bit as if they were wings. Bring a bend into your knees. We are shifting the weight towards the left foot, lifting the right knee, and we're crossing over our legs. You can leave your big toe to the floor or hug the legs together. The right arm now goes underneath the left. If you want to hug the shoulders, do that, or touch the palms of your hands together. Now let's settle into Garudasana or the eagle. Finding balance while you're squeezing arms and legs together. Leave your arms just as they are. Taking an inhale to lift the right knee. And exhale to use Warrior 3 as a transition. As you place the foot down for a lunge. Unwind your arms as you inhale to stretch them up towards the ceiling. And then use fists of fire, pull down and bend both knees as you lower your lunge. On the in-breath, extending your legs and stretching up. On the exhale, pulling down. Once more, we will reach up. And once more, pulling down. Lower your right heel to the floor. Leave it a little bit further towards the back of the mat. Take an inhale and stretch both arms up to the ceiling. And an out breath as you circle your arms behind your back and interlacing the hands here. Draw the arms down your back as you inhale and open the chest, the gaze, maybe the throat. And a humble warrior as you aim with the left shoulder in direction of the inside of your knee, releasing the upper body. And if it feels good, you can also lift the arms away from your back. Now be right here and in this moment and notice how is the weight bearing across the feet. Where's your front knee? Are you guiding yourself into stability and strength in the lower body? We will release our hands down onto the mat, framing the left foot, lift your right heel, step back into your first downward facing dog. Inhale now, roll your spine forward as you move through vinyasa, lowering the knees down or not, and breathing out to come to the floor or lower towards it. Inhaling for cobra now, or upward facing dog, and a breath out, or 2 breaths that guides you back into down dog. And if down dog isn't yours, all fours is a good companion for this posture. Let's take a breath in, lifting the right leg up. Again, please flex the foot, toes facing down, hip facing down. Then point your toes as you breathe out, draw the knee up towards the chest. And then landing the foot forward in between the hands. Lowering your back heel to the ground. We'll take a reach forward with the left arm and then take a big circle back. Open the palms up in this warrior two as you enter it. Keep track with knee of the front toes and look forward into your open hand. A parigraha is non-grasping, but can also be translated into generosity. And the sign here is my palms are open. I'm ready to give while I'm standing in my inner strength. Let's open this up into an exalted warrior. As you take a breath in, keep your front knee bent, reach the right arm up. Your gaze could be lifted, but you could also turn your gaze down. To release from here, let's bend the back knee, top hand towards the knee. We'll just let the arms swing around, stepping the foot forward or sliding in there. Take an inhale, lift your arms, and an exhale as you bring your hands down to your heart. Pause just for a moment, maybe adjusting your stance, standing strong and tall in your mountain. And with the next inhalation, lifting the arms up. And with the exhalation, softening the arms out, adjusting them with little shoulder shrugs to make wings. As you bend both knees with bringing weight towards the right foot. Left knee is lifting, and you could choose to cross over here, big toe on the floor, or just hugging in. And the left arm now crosses underneath the right for an embrace or to touch the palms. Settle into your shape, steady your gaze, eagle pose. With the next breath in, keep your arms, but lift your left knee. And again, the transitioning pose is a warrior three. We're not holding in it. I would just ask you to really slow down by stepping into a lunge. When you're ready, unwind your arms and breathe in to stretch them towards the sky. We're using fists of fire from here as we're pulling down, bending both knees. And on the inhale, extend your legs, stretch to the ceiling. And breath out, pulling back down. One more, take an inhale, lifting up, and exhale to pull back down. Lowering your back heel, if possible. Again, keep this foot in an angle rather than squaring it off. Inhale to lift the arms up again. And when you're exhaling, circle your arms out and around behind your back. Interlace, change the finger on top. Lengthen the arms down your back, open your heart, throat, maybe your gaze. And humble warrior on the way down. Right shoulder moves in the direction of the inside of the right knee. Once the upper body is released, you might choose to lift your arms away from your back. Again, feel your feet. You're looking down anyway. You see the arches being lifted. If there aren't, encourage that lift. Feel how that changes the dynamics in the legs. To release, let your hands come either side of the right foot. Lift the left heel. We'll step back into downward facing dog. Go through vinyasa or take a rest now. If you're flowing, inhale, come forward into kumbhakasana or plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. And exhaling, returning to down dog. If you're not flowing in that pace, and if that is slower, well done. So from here, we'll lift the left leg up. The foot is in a flexion to align the hips. And then point the foot, and as you breathe out, draw your knee in towards your chest and land your foot between the hands. Lower the back heel down, reaching the right arm forward, and then starting to circle that arm up, open palms for Garudasana 2 or the Warrior 2. Here it's the same, arches active. We've got a nice strong stance. We're neither leaning forward nor backwards. We're tall, strong, well established in life, and we can open up to whatever we're ready to give. On the next breaths, exalt your warriors. You lift the left hand up, let the right hand lower down gently onto your leg. Create this big openness in the body on your inhale. And then bend your back knee, hand towards it, swirl the hands around. This time, however, we're taking our hands back down to the mat. Lift the back heel and return into a downward facing dog. And I will encourage you now to lower either one after the other or both forearms down at the same time, changing this into a dolphin pose. I've also chosen to interlace my hands. That's up to you. I would love to use this pose as our inversion for today. So you might want to soften your knees, leaning the head away from the floor so the neck is free. You can even shake the head gently to release any tension in the neck. Being strong in the arms and allowing tailbone to move up and back. If you can hold here, wonderful. Knees down on the floor is a great assistance. And we'll stay for 2 more breaths. On the following inhale, lower your knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, and come into Balasana or the child's pose. And if you like, your arms can come by the sides, hands to your feet, and let your whole upper body relax and the whole back around forward. A good way of returning awareness inwards. As you draw your hands by the sides of your knees, palms flat to the floor, use your hands to slowly guide yourself into a seated position. We won't sit on the heels this time. We'll bring our legs out in front. And I'd ask you to bring your legs out wide. If you want to support underneath, a cushion folded up blanket with a tip pointing forward might be nice here. Shuffle around so you can find your sit bones on the floor. Then bring your fingertips down behind you and just rest onto the fingertips. Let your toes point upwards and take a breath in. Have a sigh out in your breath and use a little bit of abdominal strength together with your fingertips and guide yourself a bit forward. Adjust the neck position. If you find the fingers behind are very useful, keep them there. You can walk them in a bit. If you feel prepared, the hands can also come forward. And with the hour breaths, we'll allow ourselves to come deeper. And here is, I think, a very good application of our parigraha and the non-grasping, not looking for that perfect shape of display of flexibility. And what does that even mean? Scale it back, experience your shape. Do it for the sake of the practice and for the sensations that you might feel, and embrace those you like as much as those you don't. And then we'll walk our hands back in towards the body, bringing our legs together, arms lifting out in front. And if you need to grab things for about a 2-minute relaxation, do. Otherwise, come with me, breathe out, roll down onto the floor. Let yourself flop into that Shavasana and just settle down. Unless you have extra time, which I encourage you to use if you do, to stay for a lot longer in the resting part of this practice. If you do have to come with me, you can, but I encourage you to stay for one more breath. Enjoying the in as well as the out breath. In that awareness. And from there, for those of you completing the practice with me, please begin to move the body again, have a little stretch. And bring yourself in your own way up into a seated form. And we take another deep breath, reaching the arms up as we begin. We draw the hands down in towards the heart, a subtle bow of the head, acknowledging that we all have issues with non-grasping in whatever shape or form, and drawing awareness to that to create a change. As we extend in this manner to each other, Namaste.